most of this is what happens. You have these same thought forms or the same thought frequency. When you take a spiritual bath or do anything spiritual, the idea is to evaluate the thought that got you there. That's why self-reflection is such an important part of this. And even what the Empress gem sells are items that really help switch up your aura. You understand what I'm saying? For instance, that Florida water. But if you have the same funky thoughts, you're hustling backwards. So you're going to have to reflect and see what it is that ails you. For instance, your brother was like, well, do you ever really get over some of these thoughts? He was telling me last night, talking about some of the stuff I went through. I said, no, that's exactly it. We used to come out every weekend, as you remember, when my mother got semi-better, every Friday back to the hood. These days were fucking magical for us. First every 2 weeks, then later every week. Friday was the day. We was going back to our home. Back to our mother, our friends were there. You, your brother, and your sister. That was it for us. In our minds, we were going back to a paradise until I moved out there and realized, wait a minute, this is just a fucking project, and it's just a ghetto, and they smoke crack out here. What the fuck? And it was so amazing how I've never seen that for years, that this was an actual ghetto. I seen that this was a paradise. So Friday was the day. Sunday is the day we went home. And Sundays always had this melancholy feeling. We would get up, do what we had to do. We would hang with y'all. We always knew it was a time limit on that day. We would have to start moving to the other side of Queens to go back home. It was a sad feeling that I could logically think of, but the emotion is something that was happening in the 80s. Who in the fuck would remember that, correct? You would think you are over these things, or these things are in your past, until you came out here. And then the day you was leaving, I was feeling fucking sad again. I'm like, why the fuck do I feel sad? This is a person I'm going to see in 3 minutes on Facebook. This is a person, I'm grown. I could see anytime I want, and he could see me anytime he wants. He could stay as long as he fucking wants. I go to New York anytime I want. Why? I'm almost feeling like when you was leaving, I want to cry. Like, why the fuck is this so sad? Boom. And it hit me. Those fucking Sundays. What this affords now, something that was deep in my subconscious that was probably ruling so many areas of my life without me aware of it, this particular event brought it to the surface. And really, that's what you're doing as an occultist, trying to get these human events so you can actually put them on the table to deal with it through the spiritual work, to actually release it. So there's a pain I'm able to release when I was able to experience it emotionally with a scenario. The scenario was the same scenario of I had to leave my boy again. He came, he hung, we had fun. It was like the weekend was over again on Sunday. And it made it real clear. I'm like, you think you would know logically, but I'm fucked up as what the fuck is happening here. At every moment, I'm like, I'm literally was holding back tears when you was getting on the bus, like you was going to fucking to the army. Or some shit.
That's why I told you to get out the car. I told you to walk with me in the store. I don't know if you remember that part.
Yeah, I remember.
You were sitting there real quiet, and I said, well, come on out, walk me into the store. And then we started talking, get some candy, you know what I'm saying? And it was a little easier then.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is this? Because I'm baffled. But when I was in the stores, when I started to realize what emotion I was feeling. I was like, oh, we played this fucking emotion over for years on those Sundays. And boom, psychologically, it tapped right back into that emotion, something that you ain't even thought about. Ain't no reason to think about that. Especially now, especially with Facebook. Ain't no reason to think about that. I'm going to see you any moment. You shit, we going to be on the radio in 2 days. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? You just couldn't put it together. Then sure enough, when we was in that store, I remember you said, well, get out, come in the store. In the store, standing up, I'm sitting like, that's what I think I was telling you. Yo, this is that Sunday. These are the fucking Sundays. You getting on the bus. You sure this is the right bus? Shit like that. And I'm like, boom. So that's really the work. Really constant self-reflection. A lot of these tools that these sisters have, especially if they're making them handmade, these conscious sisters, especially if they got that good heart like Empress Gem, will help you along that path. You understand? A lot of tools, I've been doing that too. Y'all know where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? But y'all need to see other people do this too. See how it worked for you. You know what I'm saying? Something she may have may just hit on you, something better than I have. You just never know. You got to play with all these things. They're very fair priced. None of what she has is going to break you. So you get to knock out two birds with one stone. You get to support the sister, and you get something out of it. You know what I'm saying? Something out of it. Big thing. Absolutely. It's always happening. Like I said, even for me, it's always happening. And I got an opportunity to tell your brother about that story and how I said, now that this emotion is in the light, out of darkness into the light, I can now see it. So to be a dark side nigga is really to do that work. That's all it is. To go into the darkness that dwells within. And to bring in the light, really a lot of bitch-assedness that exists within you. You don't even know. Because if you talk to these sisters, the niggas they dealing with, once it starts to get emotional, bitch-ass nigga comes out. Thug-ass niggas everywhere else. But once they start liking each other, sisters will tell you all day. Jealousy starts coming out. Insecurity start coming out in the nigga. Where you been at starts coming out in the nigga. I don't want to work for the white man. I'm trying to get my incense business off the ground. Nigga comes out and these shit. You understand what I'm saying? And you have no idea how or why it's happening. You just think that's how niggas are supposed to be. And women have been putting up with this shit for a long time. Not to say these motherfuckers ain't just as retarded some days. You understand what I'm saying? But for the most part, you see it going through guys more or less when we're supposed to be taking this. We're supposed to be mastering these things. So women, and women have them a little bit more mastered with their submission because they've learned to submit more than we have. And we have not learned how to deal with our emotions. So they come out in other ways. So when you see this emotion that you can't explain, like I can on that day, you don't run from that shit. Most niggas would have said, what is this shit? Fuck this shit. What the fuck am I doing? And you would have just shut that shit down. Oh, no, I'm probing that shit. Bitch-ass niggerism must go. So in ways I may be insecure and not know it, the ways I may be doing a certain thing and not know it, it may be a result of this emotion running the subconscious engine, which is your true reality. Therefore, to be able to put it on the table, really probe it, and say, now I can let you go. I understand. Submit to it. It was a hurt. It hurt the shit out of me. It hurt me to where it affected me. Now it's time to let you go. You are useful as a protection tool. You were useful as a protection tool in the 80s, but I no longer need you to protect me. Thank you for what you've done, but emotion, you can leave. I'm free now. I'm free where nobody says there's ever a Sunday ever again that I have to leave or be torn away from something I love. I can move, go when I want, where I want. Know why? Because I'm God. I'm the master of it. And shit, at the very least, I'm the master of this, my human reality. If I want to see my boy or get on the phone with him at will, talk all night, I can do it.